Hello everyone, it is Jazz here. Every once in a while I like to try out talking about something different, and I thought since fidget spinners are super popular I would talk about if they do help with ADD, focus, or all of the other claims such as things like helping with anxiety or with compulsive behaviors. So I personally have ADD and dyspraxia. Those are the two learning differences or disabilities that I have. Now dyspraxia is a whole other different kind of thing, and it's not very familiar, but it is probably a discussion for a whole other kind of video. Today we do want to just focus on the ADD element and if spinning some fidget spinners does help. I personally do not have ADHD, so I'm not working with that hyperactivity element that ADHD people have to work with. So I can't really speak on that. I can only speak from somebody that has just the ADD without the hyperactivity, which does have some similar symptoms, so it might still work the same if you have ADHD. I personally have a very interesting ADD compulsive behavior. Go through these periods where I rub my ear a lot like this, and it doesn't seem like that's like a horrible thing, but it does get really bad because I do rub it so much that it has gotten a little bit calloused, and it does start to hurt and get a little bit bruised because I'm just messing with it for hour upon hour. I kind of go on and off with that compulsive behavior. I usually do it if I'm stressed or if my hands are just bored. And what I usually do is I either color or I do a puzzle or I crochet, and that usually goes away eventually. However, sometimes I just want to sit and watch TV and not have to worry about looking at anything else, and I was in the mood to just like sit and be still or just be able to just read and not have to worry about crocheting or something like that. And because of that, I was starting to get kind of this little tic that I have. And one day I was on YouTube and somebody did a video on if fidget spinners help with ADD. I had never heard of the fidget spinner. My mom had, weirdly, and she told me this later, but I had never, and so I went to see if it actually did help, and it did seem to do some things, or it did intrigue me to make me want to try it myself. So I went on Amazon and I got two different fidget spinners. I've got the Fidget 5 here. What it does is it has these little round balls on the ends of this, so you can roll these if you get sick of spinning it. I thought that would be therapeutic because if I was out somewhere and didn't want to spin it, or I got tired of spinning it, I could just rub it with my fingers. And then I also just wanted like a cool one that was just fun, and I got this one that looks like a dragon. I got the Dragon Chew also because it's very textural, and I thought that it would be nice to rub my fingers on if I wanted a little bit of texture to kind of get that same feeling I get when I kind of rub on my ear. I think they are really quite nice because they are, for adults, a little bit smaller than your average fidget spinner. And yet again, they do have those things like texture and like the little round metal balls, so you don't just have to spin it if you are like speaking to somebody or worry about being distracting to others while you're watching a movie or TV. Now, it took 2 weeks with these to see if it actually did help. And I have to say that I do feel like it does do something for me personally. First of all, when I felt the compulsion to sort of do the ear thing, I would immediately pick these up or carry these around, and it did sort of kind of make me want to do this instead of doing the activity that I was trying to stop. That is super awesome because I was like hiding this ear in videos for like weeks because I was like, I don't want anybody to see how sad it looks right now. It did sort of help me focus on things like watching television or be able to like go to a movie theater and not worry about doing that and sitting still and really have something to do with my hands. This is a really good thing for people that are readers with ADD, and the reason is if you are reading, you can spin this one, the Fidget 5, really well on the floor, just back and forth if you are sitting on the floor or at a table. And also, you can easily just spin it with one hand while you're reading, and it did help me want to sit longer and read. It also did help me a lot with being able to listen to audiobooks and focus on audiobooks when I wasn't doing like cleaning or something like that. In addition, I did find for me that it did help me with any kind of anxious moments that I had. If I was feeling a little anxious or upset, it did kind of have a repetitive motion that did make me relax a little bit. A few fidget spinner things I've seen do say that it does help a little bit with insomnia, which I also do have, and I have to say it doesn't like 100% help with insomnia. I do feel like at night I get a little tired and I don't really want to spend time spinning it per se, so I did have a lot of trouble not doing my little compulsive ear behavior thing when I was going to sleep. But after a while, I did learn with this particular one that I could, when I was about to go to sleep, like roll the balls, and my hands weren't too tired to do that. And it did seem to help me like go to sleep, because sometimes I was like staying awake because I was so like compulsive with this ear thing. Like I said, these are a little bit different than your average fidget spinner, so I don't really know how the average ones would work for people, but I think if you're an adult and you want like a really good therapeutic one to get, I would recommend this Fidget 5 one, because you can put it on a pencil and spin it. You can spin it on the table just plain. You can also roll these little ball things. It's got so many things to do, and I think because it's so small, it's even easier than your normal fidget spinner to fit in your pocket if you're going somewhere, and you could just like put it in your pocket and mess with it and no one have to know that you're using it. But if you did want to spin it, I think because it is a little bit smaller and you don't necessarily have to spin it to kind of get your nervous tics out, it does really help. Although this dragon one is just super cool and I recommend it because it's cool. I think the Fidget 5 is between like $12 to $14, and this one you can get like for $9 or so on Amazon. But I just approached the extra expense from like a therapy standpoint as opposed to worrying about the price of the fidget spinners, and it was effective for me. But if you just want to kind of try and see if this works, you can definitely get a whole array of different fidget spinners for quite a bit cheaper than that. So in summary, I do think that these really helped me personally. I don't know if it would work for every ADD person, but I think if you do have a compulsive behavior or ADD and you want a little something that helps you focus so that you can just watch television, I do think that it's worth giving a try and seeing if it helps you. I have noticed that I have not wanted to do my compulsion for almost 5 days, and that was even when I wasn't holding this in my hand. So I think that's pretty good. I guess that is all I have to talk about with you guys today. I hope you guys found this video interesting. So that is all, peoples, and I will see you all on Sunday. Thank you for watching. Bye! Yeah, I just had to spin it one more time.